Hey, what's up guys? TCG Reload here. Today we're going to be going over a deck profile and combo tutorial for Mimighoul. Starting off, we have 3 Mimighoul Dragon. If you're not familiar with what the Mimighouls do, pretty much every one of them, actually every one of them, I think besides Master, has an effect where you can special summon them to your opponent's field face down defense like that, and then when they're flipped face up, they all have an effect that activates and it's going to be some kind of an annoyance to the opponent. None of these cards are really super strong, but they're all just kind of like a flat tire type of thing where they all just do something a little bit annoying, and if you get 3 or 4 of those annoying things stacked up at once, it's going to make it so your opponent can't really play the way their deck wants to work. Mimighoul is mostly a control deck. But anyway, Dragon on summon, he's going to search a spell or trap, and if he's flipped face up on your opponent's field, he's going to destroy all face up monsters they have. My favorite one up here next is 3 Mimighoul Archfiend. Mimighoul Archfiend is my favorite because the effect on the opponent's field when it's flipped face up is they have to discard a card and you get to draw a card. It just feels so good to do a hand rip and then get the plus off of this. When he's summoned on your field, he can flip a monster on your opponent's side face up. So kind of nice if they have like a dragon face down on their field and then you normal summon this, flips the face up, destroys their face up monsters, and then you take control of it. So pretty cool. Those are the only 3 ofs. Next we're going to get to a card that we play 2 of, and that is the Mimighoul Fairy. Mimighoul Fairy is an extender card, just going to special summon itself out of the hand, and the effect when it's on the opponent's field getting flipped face up is your opponent can't activate the effects of special summon monsters from the hand, so pretty decent. 1 Slime. Slime is kind of another extender, and he's going to allow you to special summon one Mimighoul from deck when he's flipped face up on your opponent's side of the field. Mimighoul Armor, also another extender. If your opponent has a monster, you can special it, and then his flip face up effect is your Mimighoul monsters can't be destroyed by battle this turn. This one's okay. Not being able to be destroyed by battle is okay. Master has kind of his own protection in that anyway, but the other ones don't, so I don't know. It's good. Not really worth playing more than 1 of though. Cerberus, just 1 of it. This is kind of a hot take. I don't see a lot of people playing the Cerberus. I think he's just kind of fun, and I also think there should be more Mimighoul names in the deck. I find myself kind of like running out of good options to summon in a lot of the grind games. So this is just 1 more card that allows me to kind of interrupt my opponent, just do something a little funky. When it's flip face up, he's going to banish the top 3 cards of the opponent's deck and special summon 1 to your field. And then Mimighoul Master. Master is definitely one of the stronger ones. He's got 1800 attack, but when he's summoned, he's going to search a Mimighoul monster. I wish he could search any Mimighoul card, but then he'd probably just be OP. Can't be destroyed by battle or card effects while your opponent controls any face-down monsters, or you control a Mimighoul monster other than Mimighoul Master. So that's where he's got his little bit of protection. And he goes hand in hand with the Mimighoul Throne in the extra deck that we'll check out here in just a minute. Also, during your opponent's main phase, you can flip a monster they have face up. So you can get some of those things like, once again, if you have Dragon set on the opponent's field and you have your Master, on their turn, let's say they normal summon a monster, activate Master to flip this face up. It's going to destroy that monster and then you gain control of this. So it could be pretty powerful. That is it for the Mimighoul monsters. Let's go ahead and check out some of the spells and traps we got here. So we have Terraforming with 3 Mimighoul Dungeon. Mimighoul Dungeon is the field card that kind of is, well, definitely runs the deck and is very important to it. It's going to make it so your Mimighoul monsters gain attack equal to their defense. So, like, for example, Mimighoul Master has 1800 attack, 1200 defense, and then the turn after they're summoned, so this specifically says, like, not the turn they're summoned, they're going to gain that boosted attack. So he's going to go right up to 3000 the turn after he's summoned, so... let's say, for example, you have Cerberus set on their field and Mimighoul Dungeon and active over here. They're not going to be able to normal summon until they flip that. Normally what your opponent's going to do, or probably going to want to do, is just flip it, get out of the way, and then be able to normal summon and start doing their stuff. I actually was playing this for a little while and didn't realize you could add cards from the graveyard to your hand. I thought it was only from the deck. So that's where you can kind of recycle and get some of your Mimighoul guys back in rotation after you've done Maker and summoned a lot and linked off and all that stuff. So speaking of Maker, here is Mimighoul Maker. Here's another wild card. Let me just go ahead and read this. Reveal 2 flip monsters with different names from the deck. Your opponent randomly picks one for you to special summon to their field in face down defense position, and you add the other to your hand. Then you can special summon 1 Mimighoul Master from your hand. If your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 face down monster your opponent controls, change it to face up attack or defense position. You can only use 1 Mimighoul Maker effect per turn and only once that turn. So basically what this does is you're going to activate it, select 2 Mimighoul monsters from your deck. One's going to randomly summon to your opponent's field, so you just roll a dice or randomly select one, however you want to do that. And then the other one goes to your hand, and then you're able to either special summon that card that went to your hand or special summon another Mimighoul from hand. So it basically specials a monster from your deck and puts one face down on their field. This is a very, very strong card. All right, 3 Mimighoul Room. This is a card you like to kind of end on in your first turn. It's gonna special summon a monster from your deck face down to your opponent's field, and then let you flip a monster face down. So when you have your field card going where they can't normal summon, let's just make a scenario here. They have Cerberus face down, and you have the field card active. It's gonna make it so if they just say, okay, you know what, we're gonna get rid of this, it comes to your field, and now I can normal summon. Okay, we're gonna activate Room after you normal summon another guy to your field face down, so you're gonna have to flip another one, and then this is gonna flip whatever you just normal summoned face down. So that's pretty strong. It's another interruption on your opponent's moves there. That's pretty much it for the Mimighoul engine. Let's check out some of these powerful spells and kind of other engines we have. We're playing 1 Thrust and 2 Talents. This is just to kind of come back when the opponent hand traps us. Usually, we're able to play pretty easily through 1 hand trap. 2 hand traps is really going to be stopping us, and 3 is like, okay, we're kind of fizzled out at that point. But this is going to really help us come back. A lot of times we'll maybe just take control of opponent's monster, link it off, or sometimes we might like thrust into Imperm or whatever we need to do there. Next up, we're playing a Kashtira engine. So we have 1 Fenrir, 2 Unicorn, Birth, and then Pressured Planet. So this is to search kind of whatever one you need, depending on what kind of scenario you're up against. Birth is just good because it lets you be able to bring them back and then normal summon them and stuff. And then these are all gonna be really strong in this deck because when your opponent activates their flip summon effects, let's say you pass with the monster face down on the opponent's field, they go to main phase, flip it face up, and you have this card on your monster zone. This is going to activate when their opponent's monster gets flipped face up and has to do their trigger effects. So you're pretty much forcing the opponent to activate their monster effects to be able to play. There can only be 1. I started playing this when I did a $50 deck tournament. I took a lot of this, I took the Kashtira stuff out, I took out the thrusts and the tactics and stuff, and we got this deck under 50 bucks. And I was playing one of these. I was actually playing a rare of it, not the ultra, just to save a few more cents. But I realized this card is actually really, really strong. It can stop a lot of decks in their tracks. Hand trap lineup, we got 3 Imperms. We got 3 Dimension Shifter, very, very strong. Hardly ever does anything bad to you. You don't really do much out of the graveyard. 3 Droll and Lockford. So not a ton of hand traps. Shifter is really strong. Imperm, I think, is really strong. I play it in pretty much every single deck I make. And the Droll, just so your opponent doesn't draw a million cards. That is it for the main deck. Let's check out the extra deck. What we got here is 2 Mimighoul Throne. Mimighoul Throne goes hand in hand with Master. So you can detach a material from this card, special summon Mimighoul Master from anywhere except banished, and then you can equip this card to it, and then bounce cards equal to the number of materials it had on it. So you have Master out with, this is usually in defense mode, 0 attack, so this is going to equip to your Master, and then bounce a card. Here's the other Mimighoul Xyz card we have. This is Giant Mimighoul. This card on summon is going to search any Mimighoul card, which is really, really good. Usually what you're going to search off this is probably like your Mimighoul Room trap card to end your turn on that. You can detach one material from this card, then target face-up cards on the field to the number of face-down monsters your opponent controls, destroy them, and if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent for each card destroyed. That effect actually doesn't come into play very much because it's not a quick effect, it's only on your turn, so if like you're going second, you'll sometimes get that effect off, or if it's kind of a grind match and you summon this out, you're going to get that effect off, but a lot of the times you're just going to summon this, search, and then that's pretty much it. Oh, also this makes it so your non-Xyz Mimighouls can attack directly, which is really good because you can make it so your cards can continue to sit there and then just attack directly. Okay, we have a Yugioh. This was actually meant to kind of stop Tenpai. Now that Tenpai is not as strong, they got hit by the ban list. I'm probably going to take this out. We'll see how it goes. We have the Lyrilisk Assembled Nightingale. This is part of a Zeus package. Basically, it just attacks direct, 2 materials under it, go downward, and then Zeus. And then you have a 2 board wipe Zeus, which is very, very strong. Then for the last 2 Xyz monsters, we have the Utopic Future and the Utopic Draco Future. It costs a lot of materials to go into these. Basically, if you manage to get a lot of the stuff off of your opponent's board and clear them out and set up a little bit of a lock and you're able to go into that, you're pretty much winning the game because it's just very, very strong. Alright, now for the links. Relinquished Anima, because it's pretty fun to play in this deck. It just needs 1 level 1 monster except a token, and pretty much, I mean, all of your Mimighouls are level 1 except for Master. We play this, the Heavenly Spheres, but I've actually never used it. You can summon it with 2 Mimighoul Dragon. If you got 2 Mimighoul Dragon, you're probably going to be making something better. Nightmare Phoenix, just to clear out Spell or Trap that they got. SP, actually go into this quite a bit. Sometimes you will, tactics, steal your opponent's monster, go into SP, or sometimes just go straight into it if you are trying to set up some more defense and you want to banish on your opponent's turn. And then access code to attack and go for a lot of damage. In that $50 deck tournament, I was actually able to squeeze in the access code because these are really cheap now. That is it for the extra deck. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get into a combo tutorial here. So this is going to be Mimighoul Maker and then any Mimighoul Monster. So what we're going to do is start off by activating Mimighoul Maker. And that's going to allow us to select 2 monsters. Let's just go ahead and do these 2. It's going to randomly put one onto your opponent's field and one into your hand. So let's just go ahead and say this one went to the opponent's field and this one went to hand. Then we can special it. And on special, it's going to flip this, then it comes back to you. Now, right here, we can go ahead and do this into Mimighoul Throne, detach, and summon Master. Master is going to search us a monster. Let's go ahead and take Fairy because that's going to be an extender. We're going to be able to special summon that card. We're going to normal summon Mimighoul Dragon and on summon add a Spell or Trap to hand. Go ahead and take the dungeon. We can go ahead and activate the dungeon and then pretty much go for any Mimighoul here that you want to see flipped up on your opponent's turn. We're going to take the Archfiend. We can go ahead and set the Archfiend to their field right now if we want to. And then we're going to special summon Fairy from our hand and immediately overlay to Giant Mimighoul. We're going to add the Trap from deck to hand. Where is it? Mimighoul Room. And then we're going to go ahead and set it and pass turn right here. So this is pretty much the most ideal starting hand you can kind of come up with, and that was just off 2 cards. So let's go over what we have here. So Mimighoul Dungeon is not going to let the opponent normal summon until they flip this face up. So let's go ahead and say they flip this face up. It's going to make us draw a card and them discard a card, which I totally love. And then we take control of it. Then they're like, okay, nice, I can normal summon. Okay, they normal summon a monster, whatever it is. Then we activate this, which is saying we're going to special summon another monster to their field face down. Let's just go for armor. Doesn't really matter a whole lot right now. And then whatever they just normal summoned, we're going to flip that face down as well. So Mimighoul Room served as a very important interruption there. Their normal summon is now gone. They have one of our monsters face down on their field again. And then let's say they were able to special summon some other monster or something. We can activate Throne by attaching it to Master, and then we get to bounce a card back to hand. So that's kind of like a Floodgate, controlling their field a little bit, and 2 different interruptions to their summons, and that's just enough flat tires to stop a lot of decks. You're not going to be stopping every single meta deck, every single god hand that people draw, but it's a really fun deck to play, and it's just really fun to play this kind of fun, different style of gameplay where you're, putting monsters on your opponent's field and all that crazy stuff. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and subscribe there. And thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.